This is the Akil the MC interview with Wired Up TV. It contains bad language. Parental advisor is advised. Only over 18 should listen.
Yo, Danny.
What up, Akil?
What's going down, man? How you doing?
Pretty good, and yourself?
All right. I'm sitting here trying to wait to talk to you.
All right, Akil. So it's a pleasure, brother, to have you on, man. Finally, I got my co-host Todd Whithour. I don't know if you've heard some of our recent interviews, but he's always on with me. You know, he's always helping me interview people. So it's just me and him, brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. I like your interview. I heard your interview. I heard the interview you did with Can Be and Fearless.
Oh, okay, cool. Did you hear the one with Chris Carroll?
No. I think somebody was telling me about, or I seen somebody talking about that and stuff, or I was trying to discredit y'all for it. The DFs Can Be trying to discredit y'all for doing the interview with the guy. I think it was a detective or something like that. Is that so?
Yeah, he was the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the He was a bike officer in Vegas when the shooting happened, and he was actually the first person on the scene. So yeah. So he's the one that pulled Tupac out of the car, all shot up, and he heard Tupac's last words.
Wow, that's interesting. Wow.
Yeah, he said that that when he was trying to because when somebody gets shot, he said that there's something called a dying declaration, and you could actually use that in court as as evidence, and it wouldn't be hearsay. So he said that he kept trying to ask Tupac, who shot you, who did it. Yeah, and Tupac, and I guess Tupac's last words were "fuck you" to him.
Right. I mean, that sounds about I mean, anybody that's in on some street level stuff, anybody that knows that and stuff, like when people talk about the Tupac death or shooting and all that and everything that happened and stuff. I'm from LA and stuff, so I'm very used to gang culture and knowing what happens in retaliation for things that happen and stuff, so, and then for people not to talk or say nothing, that's to somebody that's foreign of that type of lifestyle and stuff, they automatically think, well, why ain't Suge saying nothing and stuff? Well, on the street level and stuff, you can't say nothing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody gets shot, from on a gang level and stuff, the person is not going to tell who shot them and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's like some cold of the street type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it never was a mystery to people that's from LA, especially and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to say nothing and stuff, because that's not their position to say anything and stuff, because that's some street stuff. Somebody that's a civilian, they're going to, hey, he shot me, this person shot me and stuff, you know what I'm saying? They don't live by that code and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But somebody that's living by that code and stuff, you ain't going to never know and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I always make a joke, if somebody say, somebody always say, where's Tupac? They still haven't found Tupac's killer. And I'm like, well, on the street level, if you were a street person and stuff, if somebody tell who shot Tupac, is that snitching? You know what I'm saying? Like, so from a street perspective and stuff, that would be snitching and stuff. So I'm like, you ain't gonna never know. But somebody on the street level, in LA and stuff, everybody knew directly what it was, when it happened and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it was just get back and stuff. Like how somebody do something to somebody and then you trying to get back at that person. That's all that world is about and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, how fast you can get back at this person and stuff, especially if they done something to you. So, to me, it just made sense. So for him to say, fuck you, I ain't talking to the police and stuff, that's typical and stuff,
Yeah, typical, yep. And that's, you know what, I think that's something people don't understand, especially people that ain't from LA or from the gang culture. They don't understand that And this happened to me, to family members. If somebody beats your ass, and especially when you're young and you're in that culture, in that vibe, all you got is your reputation or what they're gonna think about
Yep.
you. So
Yep.
it makes sense.
Yep.
I'm gonna go get this dude. I don't care who he is.
It made too much sense and stuff. That's why I like that. What's the guy named Mob James? I like his interview and stuff, man. That was real. I felt that and stuff, because I understood where it was and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he couldn't say nothing back then and stuff. I guess now ain't nobody around for him to be able to so-called be telling on somebody and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that made sense. That when he was saying like this dude is a gang member that got socked out by a rapper. Somebody's ego, just ego. You know what I'm saying? Your ego not going to take that and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's automatic. It's already automatically get back and stuff. But now it's like, yo, this is personal and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I gotta get back at this dude and stuff. And that get back is swift and stuff, especially if you come from that gang world. That retaliation, it counts and stuff. So he couldn't walk around and knowing, you a gang member and you a reputable gang member and stuff, and then you got socked out by a rapper and stuff. That shit is not gonna work. That is not gonna work and stuff. So it made all sense to me and stuff. There's no mystery. We all on this conspiracy stuff and this like, man, hey, Tupac stepped up in that world and stuff, and this is what happens and stuff. And most of the time, a lot of people that's not from LA, and then they get caught up in the gang culture and stuff, from out there and stuff. They make mistakes they make mistakes and stuff because they're not really from there and stuff. So they do stuff that's not, that's not connected to that world and stuff, and then they end up getting in a world of trouble and stuff. I done seen it thousands of times and stuff, just somebody that's, and then you start feeling that juice and stuff, and you feeling that power, you with the power now and stuff, so y'all kicking niggas ass and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But when it come back, that's the part right there and stuff, you know what I'm saying? That, most people, you see them old or get killed. I've seen it happen thousands of times.
Yeah, and I guess they think, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because they're famous, or because they were so famous that they can't, it's impossible for them to die like a regular person. They're regular people. They're just famous. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Come on, you did some regular dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I like Tupac and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you make wrong moves and stuff. Like I said, you get with the power and then you start feeling it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see it. Like I said, I didn't see it and stuff. You with the power and you feeling it, and you want to run up on dude first and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, man, like this ain't that world and stuff, you know what I'm saying? That like somebody will hurt you and stuff, Like I mean, in one of my the first video that I did, and the video that I did, debunking and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I had mentioned how I seen Tupac in traffic court and stuff, in the elevator and stuff. But when I hold on, I'm doing an interview. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Bro.
Okay.
You don't see the wall? You don't. It's right there. Yeah. Go ahead. But I had said that I was in the elevator, and he was in the elevator with Spice One when we got in the elevator. Me and one of my partners and stuff, So he's in the back of the elevator and stuff, but he's talking about what happened with him. He used to hang with the Rolling 40 Crips out in LA and stuff, And then I had heard on the streets, he had got jumped or something happened, a big fight or something happened up in Baldwin Hills or something like that and stuff, So when I get in the elevator, here it is, Tupac is in the back, and they talking about this thing and stuff. So I'm just listening and stuff, and I'm like, and I'm hearing them say stuff like, yeah, I know such and such, and the big such and such, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about what happened. And I'm like, and I want to give him advice, but I can't step into his conversation that's happening right there and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not my conversation, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. But I want to be like, man, bro. Like, man, in LA, bro, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter who you are, man, you can get it and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I always think about this and stuff like, man, I wonder if I would have said something, you know, could I have, you know, prevented his life from dying the same, because he died basically the same, or about the same type shit and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Being in LA, caught up with, you know, this person, that person and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I wanted to see if I wanted to say something, but like I said, it wasn't my conversation. So I didn't say nothing and stuff, you know, and we just got off in two different places on the elevator and stuff. My stop came and they stayed on there and stuff. So I never said nothing to him and stuff. I just seen him, but I never spoke to him, you know what I'm saying? So it was just, but I wanted to say something because I'm like, man, dude, you know, and then what eventually happened to him was the same shit. I'm like, damn, man, I wonder if I could have saved his life, you know what I'm saying? Like years for that was around that time. That was the thug life time and stuff when I seen him and stuff, you know. He wasn't even with death row at this time. So
yeah.
But it was the same type of shit that happened and stuff, so, you know.
Yeah, it's fucking just crazy, man, but you know, it was meant to happen. When you know, he's from New York, you don't know what's going on, man, with the LA stuff. You know, they got crazy people out there, but it's different, you know.
Yeah, totally. It's, you know, I don't urge nobody, you know, to just come out of town and like, yo, get with that, you know, even if you live in LA and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be, you know, willing to deal with every aspect that comes with it and stuff, you know. And most people, you know, a lot of times and stuff, they're not with that shit and stuff, you know. I grew up in a gang neighborhood. I never banged and stuff, you know. That was never me and stuff. I never had to and stuff, you know. And then I knew certain people that wouldn't even let me even think about that and stuff, you know. That just was never my world and stuff, you know. It wasn't like it's a gangster party, like everybody going to a gangster. Like, if you find yourself at a gangster party, your ass better look out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, but they glorified it to making it think like, yeah, the gang world like this. Like, nah, bro, nah, you know, it's a real thing, you know what I'm saying? They live by a code, and your ass, you know what I'm saying? You break them codes, you know, like,
you're gonna die.
yeah, certain shit that happen and stuff, you know. Like my brother-in-law was banging and stuff, and you know, it's just certain stuff that you ain't gonna know. I like I said, I grew up amongst this stuff, but it's still certain shit they do. It's like, you know, Boy Scout honor. They ain't gonna speak and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Even though they, you know, I got family members that's from that, but it's like code of honor, certain type shit, man. You ain't gonna know everything and stuff, you know.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, so you know I mean, we wanted to get you here, man. I wanted just to speak to you on a cool level, but you know, I did as you've heard all the other interviews that we've done, and you spoke about, you know, the interview we did with those two idiots. You know what I'm saying? And it, to me, as soon as I heard that conspiracy theory, man, I was like, it's the most retarded shit I've ever heard in my life. You know what I'm saying? And it you know, okay, so this guy fakes his death and then becomes a rapper again. It's just the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life, bro. And you know, I can understand why it would piss you off, because, you know, if somebody would be like, oh, well, you know, you're Tupac, like, nah, man, I'm Akil. I got my own motherfucking lane, bro. You know, I'm doing my own thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's on one tip.
Right. I work too hard to be me. You know what I'm saying? I work too hard to be me to give it up to saying I'm somebody else, nigga. Nah, hell no. I'm my own man. Come on, man. Like, why would I claim somebody else that somebody tried to kill? Like, that part right there is just like, bro, that's dumb. That would be dumb, you know. So that, yeah, I feel you on that. It was funny at first because I couldn't believe it and stuff. But like a year prior to me first hearing about it and stuff, this girl, she who's my friend now and stuff, you know, she hit me up on the email and stuff like a year prior. She like, yo, are you you Tupac and stuff? And I explained to her, like, nah, no. It's like, all right, But, and then, it didn't take too much convincing and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And, and she was like, okay. And then that was the first time I heard it, and I didn't hear nothing else about it. And then I came, me and my wife, we went on the Jamrock cruise and stuff. It's Bob Marley cruise and stuff. And when we got home, my son picked me up from the airport. And so when the guys got in the car, he's like, Daddy, he's like, man, you are all over the internet and stuff. People have this conspiracy. They think you Tupac and stuff. They're making these videos. And I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, come on, man, you joking and stuff. And then he's like, when we got home, he showed me and stuff. And I was like, man, this is funny and stuff, for real. And then the next day, my daughter showed me something. And and I'm like, wow, these people are serious. I'm like, whoa, listen to the music, the background music is all scary and stuff. I'm like, I'm like, damn. I said, are they serious right here and stuff? I'm like, yeah, okay. According to how this video looking and stuff, if I didn't know who I was, of course I probably would think that this is, I could kind of see the similarities. Of course, people always said that, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you kind of look like Tupac, around the eyes and this, that, and the other and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So that's nothing to tell someone that they look somebody. It's another rapper named Deadly Threat and stuff, and I used to get that too and stuff. He got an album called Sick in the Head. Anybody that's listening, go look at the album and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing but his eyes. It look like it was Tupac as well too and stuff, but that's it's not and stuff. So I get that part and stuff, how somebody say you look like somebody. I don't get how somebody say you are somebody and stuff. That's that was the crazy part right there. Like, come on, man. Like, y'all joking.
Yeah, and they go even as far. I mean, when you heard the interview, they think that you're an actor. So you were Tupac first, and this is the part in the interview where I started laughing and they got a little bit pissed off. They were like, okay, so Tupac basically was a government person, that was an actor that the government put there. And he was put there to, corrupt young kids' minds, to do drugs and gangbang and all that stuff. And then they faked his death, took him out, and made him Akil the MC. So then my question was to them, okay, well, what is his purpose now, right? Because first of all,
right.
The government, it was his purpose to corrupt kids when he was Tupac. Now what's his purpose now as Akil? And their answer was, oh.
Well, we don't know. We don't know. I don't know.
Well, dumbass, I know you don't know.
Right? How is it that you don't? We're just guys with iPhones and jobs, and I don't know. I'm like, this is the. You just told that you don't know. You just, you dummy. Like, how is it that you don't know? But you know everything else. But what I do know, if you look at his raps and stuff, bro, no, you skipped over a part right there. You still didn't answer what is my purpose now. That was a great question that you asked, man. That was a great question and stuff. Like, what will be my role now? What is my role now and stuff? You know what I'm saying? That never got answered and stuff. And if it is like the guy Ty is like, because Akil don't rap about thugs and gangs and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that. So what is my role now then? You can't answer the question and stuff. That was a telltale right there and stuff. Like, you just running with internet lies and regurgitated things that existed prior to him, 3 years ago and stuff. This is the same argument. They came with the same arguments that I have been hearing since the beginning. They are newcomers to this, and people be zealous and hyped and thinking that they found something. So you're regurgitating. So nothing. You claim to be a researcher and doing research, but research is actually uncovering things. You're doing field research and stuff. So many times I have said, why don't you go to my street? I heard you asking, well, where would you go to a school and stuff? So why you can't go to my school? Why won't you go to my high school and stuff and go check the records? Go look at a yearbook and stuff. Oh, he probably paid them up. Like, but everybody that got a yearbook, so everybody that got a yearbook from that year and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, Come on, man. It's like, it's just too simple stuff that you can actually go to. If you're doing research, though, a person's going to do field research, not internet research or something what somebody else already did. That's not research. You're just regurgitating what someone else already said. That's not new information and stuff, you know.
Right.
It was nothing new that I hadn't already heard and stuff, you know.
It's freaking retarded, man. And then they were
Man.
they brought up this thing about Tupac being next to Easy, and then Easy kind of being around your same height, right? And then we go, okay, so you're saying that our pictures are not real, but then again, you can go and bring, but your pictures are. And then we did a video about that picture where we found the real picture, and it was Photoshop. So,
and it was what?
And it was Photoshop. So the picture that they were claiming that Tupac was standing next to Eazy-E and this and that was a Photoshop picture, because we found we found pictures of Tupac actually standing next to Eazy-E, and he was a lot taller than him. And then we have a picture of Tupac standing next to Dr. Dre. And you can see their feet and everything, because at first they were claiming that, well, Tupac must be standing on something and this and that. So we found a picture of him standing next to Dr. Dre, and you can see their feet, and he's like a hair shorter than Dre, and Dre is 6'1" or 6'2" or something.
Right.
We also found the original photo that they used to Photoshop Tupac next to Eazy-E.
Wow.
So clearly that, you know, that was Photoshop. We put the original right next to the doctored up version.
Wow. That's what's up. What's up, Todd? I didn't know you was on there. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. How's it going?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. That's. I mean, that's what they every time you say, well, you bring a picture, like how you were saying, Todd. Like, you know, well, how is your pictures admissible? But then, you know what I'm saying, or they're good. But then when somebody else, you know, brings pictures to, oh, that's Photoshop, and how am I? He's photoshopping baby pictures. Like, show me the original baby picture then. If it's Photoshop, you know, how would you know it was Photoshop unless you have the original, right? You know what I'm saying? You can show me the original and stuff, but everything is Photoshopped and stuff. Oh, that's not, you know, like, I'm like, wow, he just can't win with these guys and stuff. Like I'm, you know, I stopped trying to even.
So just sorry, Akil, just to clear up the record, how tall is Akil?
I'm 5'3".
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 5'3". You know, that's why I couldn't
and
understand.
on a side note from that, you said that you bumped into Spice One and Tupac in the elevator. If you had to make an estimate, what would you say Tupac's height was? It was a long time ago, obviously.
Yeah, I know. I think I would say maybe about 5'7", 5'8", somewhere around in there and stuff.
Okay.
There you go.
And I'm guessing. You know, I'm guessing. But he was taller than me and stuff. You know, so you know.
Because we're big on, you know, we appreciate you coming on, because speaking to you directly, I mean, anybody can say anything they want along the way, right? But when you're talking directly to the horse's mouth, so to speak, there's really no arguing it. So people can say you're 5'2", they can say you're 5'4". Akil says he's 5'3".
There you go.
There it is for everybody that's out there.
Right.
There you go. And see, that's the problem with them, and that's what I was telling them on the interview. I go, look, man, you guys are just two freaking weirdos with iPhones and a little computer that are just looking up pictures on Google. You guys are not true researchers, because a true researcher is not afraid to go speak to the person that they're talking about.
Right.
You know, ask Akil. Look, Akil, how tall are you? Akil, this and that. Go to his school, like, you know how you just said. Go to your block. Ask.
My neighborhood. I gave my grandmother's address. I gave, you know, where I grew up at, everything. You know, like, you can just go ask the people in the neighborhood and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm known in the neighborhood and stuff. So just go ask and stuff. You know, like, and I brought up, you know, because he was saying, well, how is it that Akil knows Monster Cody? And I'm like, if you know what neighborhood I'm from, I grew up in the same gang neighborhood as Monster Cody, so that's how I would know him and stuff like that. How is it that Tupac knows Monster Kurt. Like two people can't know the same people. It's like, I don't get this shit. Like, man, but if you went to my neighborhood, then you would know why I know Monster Cody and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make sense and stuff. That's the neighborhood that I grew up in, A-Trade gangster neighborhood. So
exactly.
You know?
One of my favorite parts of that interview. Real fast, is, you know, they in their videos a lot of the time they like to throw out, well, you know, Charlie Tuna's wearing a Tupac shirt, he's throwing it in our face, or, you know, this, that, or the other. And so I just straight up asked each one of them, how many Tupac shirts do you own? How about you? How about you? So does that make us Tupac? I mean, it seems silly to me that just because somebody's wearing a shirt of a rapper that, you know, it's passed on.
I think
instrumental in so many people's lives.
Yeah, no, I seen that first post that he had put up regarding, and I'm like, this is dumb as shit. Like, why does somebody wearing a Tupac shirt mean anything? Like, it doesn't even matter and stuff, you know. Like that just made no type of sense at all and stuff. And when you ask them, this is what I zeroed in on. You said, how many Tupac shirts do you have, Camby? He said 0. So, but I used to worship him. I know Pac. I wanted to be like him. I wanted to smoke weed like him. I wanted to do the gang thing. I wanted to do drugs like him. And in my mind, I'm like, what drugs did Tupac say he did? Besides smoking weed, what drugs do you know Tupac did do and stuff? So, you know, like, but it just didn't make no type of sense that you're a staunch Tupac fan. Him and Fearless, he said, oh, probably like 2 and stuff. Like, but then you came back and said, I own 10. You said 10, right, Todd? You said 10. And
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, how is it that y'all two are? Yeah, I was brainwashed by that guy, and this, that, and the other. And you know, I know Tupac when I see him, and this or that. How many shirts do you own? 0. 0 and 2. Like, man, that okay, yeah. You're a Tupac fan and stuff, you know.
They're
weirdos.
2 idiots. They're idiots. That's what they are, bro.
Yeah, no, it was definitely some weirdo stuff, you know. And I'm like, man, come on, man. Like, it's just not. You're not making sense and stuff. They really just talked themselves into a big circle, you know, with that interview and stuff. And you live long enough, and you let some people talk long enough, they'll talk themselves into, you
exactly.
know,
And
into hanging themselves. And that's what they did in that interview. They hung themselves a lot of times, man.
That's exactly what I told Ty. That's what I told Ty. I go, Ty, look, let's let these guys speak, because, you know, we've been alive long enough that we know when you're lying, you're gonna reveal that in how you speak. And that's what they did.
Yeah. If you're lying, you know, and if you're lying, or if you don't actually have all of the facts and stuff, once somebody starts pressing you on every aspect of this thing, and then you, well, how are we supposed to know that and stuff? Some, it's not a government thing, you know. I'm not going to go that route. But then in the interview, well, it's a government psyop, and you're like, what is it? Is it the government thing, or is it not a government thing? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you blaming the government, but then you saying, no, it's not the government. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know his agenda and stuff. Yeah, and the LAPD and the Las Vegas police are complicit with this, but you're blaming people, but you're saying you don't know who's doing this or what's going on and stuff. You know, it was just so contradictory and stuff. So,
and they act like, you know, so many people are involved. They know that, but they don't know what your mission is now as Akil.
Yeah, right. But you got it all figured out, and you said it. You know, like, you got it all figured out or whatnot. But when asked these simple questions and stuff, it's just simple stuff and stuff. Well, what's going on now? What if you know what's going on and stuff? Oh well, how am I supposed to know? We're just guys with iPhones and jobs, and you know, and we're like,
we're just
whatever.
Well, real fast,
Regular research. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a few quick, just yes or no questions, just because this is all conspiracy theory stuff.
Oh,
you can squash it out the gate. Just simple yes or no. If you feel like you need to elaborate. Is Akil the MC Tupac Shakur?
No, I'm not.
Is Akil the MC affiliated with the CIA or any government agent?
Hell no. Hell no.
Is Charlie Tuna Yaki Gaddafi?
Hell no. Hell no. And Charlie Tuna, by the way, is from Chicago, so that's why he wears the White Sox stuff. You can go to our albums, first album, Quality Control. You know, we have a song called Great Expectations where we all talk about where we're from. Mark 7 is from New Jersey, and Charlie Tuna is from Chicago and stuff. So that's why you see him repping Chi-Town stuff, you know. So.
Right. So is Mark 7 EVE?
Hell no.
Okay, and is Soup Biggie Smalls?
Emphatically no. Hell no.
It's funny that Todd said that. So you know they're claiming that he was Biggie Smalls, and then Todd comes in and he goes, you know, because they were saying, look at his eye, he has the same cockeye as Biggie Smalls, but they even got the wrong eye. It's not even the right eye.
It was the wrong eye. Right. And then he tried to cover that up. Well, maybe it could have been they fixed it and did this and then make you think like it's you sound just like a 4-year-old boy.
I mean, that's what I was asking them. I'll go, you guys act like you're little kids. Am I talking to little kids or because?
Yeah, in their minds and stuff, you know, because I don't know if you heard in the interview, he talked about how when he was a kid, he was a kid, and this is how they, you know, how when he seen Tupac, like how Tupac was just big in stature, like really it's his persona that made him think that he was big and stuff, and so it's something going on in his mind, and that's some kid stuff, you know, for when kids look up at people and they think that they're real big, because he's like, oh, I thought DMX was big and stuff, you know, when I was a kid. And I'm like, kept listening to him say when I was a kid in early 2000s, and I'm like, if you were a kid, you know, well, define what age would be a kid in 2000, early 2000s. So how old was you when Tupac? So how old was you when Tupac was there? You know, was around and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You would if you was a kid in the early 2000s and stuff. You know, so.
My daughter.
Go ahead.
Sorry, my daughter turns 20. She was born in 2000. She turns 20, you know, in March. And so I hear what you're saying. If he was a kid in early 2000, he's got to be, you know, between 19 and 25-ish.
You know, yeah. Like it's like some kid stuff, you know. Oh yeah, I had that game on Tony Hawk, and you know that song was golden and stuff, you know. That's not even the song that was on Tony Hawk. It's Day at the Races was the song. So that's not even the song. What are you talking about? They put this in our songs. They put this in our video games, and this.
So he got the wrong song.
We didn't start doing video games until 2000. That's the first video game we did in 2000.
So he got the wrong song too and everything.
The wrong song. It was that. It was just so hilarious and stuff. You know, it's so hilarious. Then just go look it up. The Tony Hawk song is not what's golden. It's the Day at the Races and stuff. You know, and that was 2003. I had it on Dreamcast. I had it.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Well, the last yes or no that I got for you, Akil, real fast. So they also claim all the time that, you know, all the celebrities and everybody, including yourself and Tupac, are involved in a secret society of Masons. Is Akil the MC or any of your affiliates affiliated with any Mason groups?
Not at all. That you know, that ain't never been. Even in the industry, I've never been approached about any of this type of stuff, you know, like that, you know. So when people talk that stuff, and even when they was saying, "Oh, Jay-Z is this, that," and I'm like, yeah, how is that going to hurt you though? I don't understand how somebody being in those groups is going to affect the world. Like, that's not going to make me want to join anything and stuff, you know. That's on that person and stuff. Yeah. You know, that how does that affect the regular person on the street and stuff? You know, even with this thing that Tupac was here to corrupt the minds, and I'm like, dear mama, made you dear mama made you want to love your mother.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about and stuff? You know what I'm saying? Shed so many tears. You know what I'm saying? Young niggas and stuff. You know, he talking about young guys going to prison and doing stuff to go to jail. Like everything that they said is opposite from what Tupac. Yeah, Tupac was a hothead, and he had his little moments and stuff, but he had more positive moments, like you said, Todd. You know what I'm saying? If anything, it's a 50-50 thing and stuff. So how can one person be pushing one message and stuff, and then all of a sudden you're trying to push another message? That will just defeat and cancel out what you're so-called there to so-called do or whatnot and stuff. How can you make somebody that like you were there to corrupt people and stuff? I'm like, that stuff just made no sense, because you're just weak if you follow somebody and you went to jail. You're in jail because of Tupac. Who says that? Who's in jail saying I'm in jail because I was trying to follow Tupac and trying to be thug like? But if you know the thug life code and stuff, you know what I'm saying? If you know the steps of that code and stuff, it had nothing. It was about saving children. Don't sell dope to children. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Watch out for the children. Watch out for older people and stuff. He had way more positive messages than they are saying about the negative stuff. And this is what he was put there to do. I don't see that at all.
I was gonna ask you something real quick, Akil, because I could already hear what they're gonna be saying. They're gonna be saying this. Well, how does Akil know about the thug life message? How does he know what it meant? And how does he know so much about Tupac? Can you tell us how do you know so much about Tupac?
Actually, I just looked up the thug life thing. The thug life thing.
Yeah.
Or just the thug life thing and stuff. Actually, I just looked that up yesterday and stuff. I said, man, let me look at this code and stuff, because I never, but I had always knew that Mutulu Shakur made up the thug life. It was not Tupac that made up that thug thing. So Mutulu Shakur is in jail and stuff, so he is the one that put this down and implemented it and gave it to Tupac to implement it and stuff. So that's how I know about it. As far as I actually looked at it yesterday and stuff to see actually what it was, but I always knew that it existed and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I always knew that it was something that came from Mutulu Shakur, and he's already in jail. So why? I want you to come here. I want them to come here with me. Like that don't make no goddamn sense and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't make no sense. So that's how I know about that and stuff. So
okay, yeah, good. I just have to ask that because I know what these two weirdos are going to be doing. They're going to try to pick apart. Well, look, how does he know so much about Tupac? How does he know about the thug life? How does he know this? How does he know that? Because just like like we all know.
I'm of that age to know everything. Like, well, how do you know so much about? That's when they would be asking those questions. I'm like, what are you talking about? Anybody that lived during that time knows all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying nothing that like, well, how does he know this? And well, this is regular life. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's of age and stuff will know all of these things that I'm saying and stuff. I'm not saying nothing out of the blue and stuff. I don't know Tupac. I met Tupac for like 30 seconds and stuff in '89. Before I knew of Digital Underground and stuff. So I didn't know who I was meeting. It wasn't like, oh, he was known as Tupac at that time and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But this is my connection, to so-called Tupac, and I gave that up. And when I did my debunking video where I said this is where I met him, so they like to say, oh, you said you met him, you was with him 3 times or 2 times, and trying to mix it up. I said I seen Tupac 3 times. One of those times, the very first time, is when I spoke to him. Hey, what's up? I'm Akil. All right, well, that was it. The next time I see him, I told y'all, I seen him in traffic court and stuff, and I didn't speak to him then. I seen him. Seeing somebody, like if I see Jay-Z on stage, I don't mean that I spoke to Jay-Z, right? You just seen the person and stuff. I seen him in the elevator. He was having a conversation. You don't get in people's conversation. That's just common fucking sense and stuff. I was ear hustling and hearing what they were talking about. The next time I seen him, my cousin was on trial and his court was adjourning. At the same time, Snoop was on trial and stuff. So their court adjourned just around the same time. So when we came to the hallway, they was walking out and I seen Suge, I seen Tupac, I seen Snoop and stuff. They just was walking past. Seeing somebody and actually having a conversation with somebody is two fucking different things and stuff, you know. And those were the only times that I came in contact, you know, so to speak and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So.
Exactly. So for for everybody you know to know, he's seen them 3 times. There you go. You know, he talked to him once, and you said you saw him twice, right?
Yeah. And the first time is when I spoke to him, and at that time he was not the Tupac that anybody know of, even with the digital underground stuff. You know, we was all connected to this grassroots. It was at the Malcolm X Grassroots Center in LA on the east side and stuff. You know, so they had a chapter from Oakland, and it was a chapter in LA and stuff. So one of the girls that I knew from the LA chapter was having her naming ceremony and stuff. So she said, some of the chapter from the Bay area coming in, it's a rapper coming and stuff, you know, Tupac and stuff. But like I said, we didn't know Tupac then, so it didn't ring a bell like, Tupac is coming and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't even like that and stuff. So, you know, for me, it was just like some rapper shit, like, okay. All right, yeah, he rap. Okay, all right, you know, I rap too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's more like, all right, what's up, dude? All right, yeah, okay, you know, and that was part of this. It went and stuff. So he wouldn't have remembered me when we seen each other in the elevator. He wouldn't have remembered me. You know what I'm saying? Because that was '89. You know what I'm saying? So this was way later and stuff. You know, so yeah.
I know you tried to squash this theory a lot of times and done a few videos. So people have talked about your scar that's on your chest. They kept saying, show me your chest, show me your chest, show me your chest. You talked about how you had a surgery. Can you speak on that a little bit? Talk about what happened, why you had to have the surgery?
Yeah, in 2014 and stuff, my aorta had tore and stuff. You know, your aorta is what, you know, connects to your heart and stuff, you know. So I had to have open heart surgery and stuff, you know. So that was 2014 or whatnot and stuff. And so they cut me down the middle of my chest, and then on the left side I have a scar and stuff. So yeah, that's what that's about and stuff, you know. Like, it was just you know, my aorta had tore and stuff. So, you know, I almost died basically. So
yeah, I had so anybody that's out there that wants to go take a look at that information, as far as open heart surgery, where it's open, they split you down the middle of the chest. They actually open your rib cage up. My dad just barely had the same thing for he had a bypass, and they did the same thing. Also, another father figure in my life had it when I was about 8 and had the staple straight down the middle of the chest. So when I saw that, I was like, man, obviously you guys don't understand how this works. Right. They can fix a lot of stuff through laparoscopes, but a lot of stuff they can't. And it just also depends on if it's an emergency situation. They're not going to take the time to set up equipment. If your heart's stopped, they're going to split you open, and they're going to fix the situation right now. So,
right.
Good. One other thing I wanted to ask you about, and I'd really like to, you know, also talk about, you know, what Akil's got going on now and all that stuff. But one of the two idiots is what I like to call them now. Talked about your mother, and I hate when people talk about my mama, but they showed a picture of you and your mother together and said that your mother was Asada Shakur. Can you speak on that? What's your feelings on that? How did that make you feel?
Yeah, no, because I didn't know, like, you know, like I told you that the first girl that said that I was Tupac, so she would send me different stuff, you know, and so she like, yo, look what they saying, man, they got you. I had my grandmother, and so they were trying to say my grandmother was actually or a Feeny or something like that and stuff. And I'm like, the fuck, you know what I'm saying? I have my sons and, you know, or my family, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, y'all are really violating the situation. Like how you said, you know, somebody to talk about your mom. Like, you can go ahead and talk about me, do whatever you want to do to me and stuff. But once you bring my wife or, you know, my daughter or my, you know, my children, my grandmother, and, you know, my mother and stuff, you know. No, my mother is, you know, is not, you know, a Feeny Shakur and stuff, you know what I'm saying? My mom's name is Rita Davis. Her maiden name is Washington and stuff, you know. So that just tripped me out. Like what, like how they just making up all of this stuff, you know, like and it's just fake ass theories and stuff that don't even add up and stuff, you know. Now that pissed me off, you know, just to see pictures that they took from my page and stuff, you know what I'm saying, and actually now you're just reporting this around on the internet and stuff, you know, and you don't see nothing wrong with that and stuff, you know. Like I don't get down like that and stuff, but you know, it's a double-edged sword too, because if I go off, then now who do I look like? I look like I'm Tupac and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So right. So you know, it's I have exercised a lot of patience and stuff, you know, and you know, like what you were saying in the interview, Tyler, like, you know, I work hard to be who I am. I'll be damned if somebody try to say that I'm somebody else and stuff, you know, and you know, like, right, you know, yeah. So I wasn't with that. I wasn't with that. You taking my mom, you know, and then trying to say that, oh, that's not really my mother. Like, yo, man. You know, like I exercise a lot of patience. I've been exercising. I learned a lot of patience with this and stuff. You know, cause you know, it's not because a lot of times people say, man, just ignore them and stuff, yo. You know, and I've done a lot of that and stuff. You know, but you know, sometimes it just be like, man, they say the dumbest shit, and I'm like, man, I gotta answer. I gotta say something. You know what I'm saying? And then, oh well, right. Look at him, and then, you know, and me answering Can Be and stuff, you know, he had these so-called 21 questions and stuff. And I answered every last one of them, and all he did was say, oh, I just read the first one, and I knew it was some bullshit. And I'm like, wow. You asked me the questions, I answered the questions, and all you said, oh, I didn't even read the rest because it was just bullshit and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, but I answered it for, so anybody that's going to go on that page, you see it. It's there and stuff. I'm not hiding from anything and stuff, you know. That's what I'm not, you know. But you know, and then so Can Be like, oh well, come meet me here, and bro, I don't have anything to prove to you. I don't understand why do I have to come meet you any fucking where and stuff or anything. I'm not trying to prove anything. I have nothing to prove to you. Y'all made the claim. If the claim is the onus is on the one that made the claim and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not for me to prove anything. Like how you were saying, Danny. You know, like how do you have any proof that he's not? He's not, because I'm Akil. I don't have to prove that I'm Akil. Exactly. I am who I am and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing to prove and stuff. You know, like, you know, I don't have to prove who I am. You have to prove that I'm this person and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Because
I was telling Danny earlier, one of the things I appreciate about what we do is Danny's big on everything's uncut, right? So when you listen to this interview, or if any of your friends listen to this interview, or anybody listens to this interview, it's going to be start to finish, nothing chopped up. And I know a lot of times it can be frustrating for any celebrity to do interviews and things because they take the points that they want and they chop up the interview and they make it what it is. Right. I think a lot of people respect that. You know, that we do it that way, because anytime anybody takes a snippet from this and Akil the MC sees it, Akil the MC can say, here's the link to the whole interview, go check it out. And people can get the truth that way. So,
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate your honesty with that. That's what's up. I definitely appreciate that and stuff, you know. I appreciate y'all questions. Y'all have some, you know, it's just potent questions and stuff, you know, like, you know, directly to the point and stuff. So, you know, I appreciated y'all interview and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're at, Danny, but as far as I'm concerned, as far as Tupac questions and all that stuff goes, I think in my opinion, spoke his piece, and
Yeah, I mean,
it's an assurance to me that it's not there. But maybe we could shift a little bit and talk a little bit about what Akil's got going on right now.
Yeah.
What his plans for the future are, that sort of thing, because it's important for us to, also at the same time while we're killing this conspiracy. I love your music. I like a lot of the stuff that you do.
Thank you.
So, what kind of things do you have going on right now? You got any music that you're doing? You got any plans for TV? Just
Well, right now I'm working on. I just finished a J5 EP I'm gonna put out and stuff this year and stuff. So that's where my mind is at right now. So I'm just working on little things and stuff, artwork and all this stuff to put together and whatnot and stuff. And then I'm always constantly doing music solo. I'm whether it's solo or my sons and them rap. So I'm trying to help them get their career going on and stuff, and friends and family and stuff. So we at J5 we had an extensive career and stuff. So I try to just lend my expertise in what I have been through and stuff. I do a lot of workshops and stuff. I teach knowledge, rhythm, and understanding and stuff, workshops, and trying to teach the youth, always trying to give back and stuff. I've always been a community person and stuff, always, and looking or do outreach for the youth and whatnot and stuff. That's always been me or whatnot. So that I'm involved in stuff like that, and just trying to raise a family and just trying to live my life. I got grandchildren and stuff, so I'm somebody's grandfather. So so that world, like I'm like, man, like I'm trying to get out of the rapper mode, just rapper thing and stuff. Because I do so many other things and stuff. But I was only known for being in Jurassic 5 and stuff. And Jurassic 5 broke up in 2006. So from that point up into 2013, when we got back together and did Coachella and stuff, I was just doing solo stuff. So I never was looking to do solo stuff. I got famous for being in Jurassic 5 and stuff. So that's why it was always funny how people thought, well, why are you trying to be famous now? Why are you trying to come like this? You got to be Tupac because you're trying to come out now and at this time and stuff. But what they don't know and stuff, and this is an important point and stuff, is that Jurassic 5 broke up in 2006. YouTube came out in 2006. Yeah. So Jurassic 5 was absent on YouTube from 2006 to 2013. There was no, even now that we still, even when we got back together and stuff, we never took advantage of YouTube and stuff. We only had one video since we had been back and stuff. So there is now. You go to Jurassic 5 page, ain't no videos and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing. We don't do lives. Ain't none of that shit and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because we missed that whole thing and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So somebody that's going to the internet, why y'all just popping up now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're just popping up right now with, YouTube and whatnot and stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Like where was you at in 97? Where was you in 98? So you didn't know this theory then? Where was all y'all at then and stuff, So, I've been doing, solo stuff, I did stuff just to pay the bills and stuff, and just because I'm an artist and stuff, so I always was rapping. Before I was in the group, I was, rapping and stuff. I'm not gonna stop rapping and doing this and stuff. So yeah, I make beats and stuff. I do videos, editing. I'm, take pictures and stuff. I just try to be creative and whatnot and stuff. So yeah. So the main thing was, to answer your question, this is J5 EP. That's my main thing right now and stuff. So.
Well, one thing that I've figured out about these weirdos, and not only the two idiots, I mean everybody else that believes in this stuff, is that no matter what you do or what you say, they're gonna not believe it, right? If you come out, debunking everything, they're gonna be like, oh, see, he's mad, he got to be Tupac. And if you don't come out at all, oh, see, he's not saying nothing, he's got to be Tupac, he's scared. Or it's just they're just not ever gonna believe it, man. Because they're idiots. Oh, and one question, and so, Akil, sorry to go back to it, but I noticed there's a lady on there, some old lady that apparently is supposed to be related to Tupac or something like that. Can you touch on that?
Yeah, so this is the catalyst for Cam B, and you know, and Fearless, and most of the people that's on the internet. I never narrowed down who actually started this rumor and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But she was the first person I seen her arguing with Charlie Tuna on Twitter. This is the first time I seen her. I'm like, and she like, well, where are y'all pictures at before '96 and stuff, you know? And I automatically, you know, what came to my head is the Good Life a documentary that came out that have us on there rapping in, you know, in what's that, 94? I think it's 94 and stuff, at the Good Life or whatnot and stuff, you know. So, but this woman, she claims, oh, I'm your cousin. You grew up with me in Baltimore, and you know, and just went through this whole thing, like, you know, like, oh, well, she's the one that started this whole thing and stuff. She's the one that said, oh, Johnny J is DJ Newmark and Jurassic 5. They can't go. They took an oath not to go perform overseas, and you know, and so when she was saying that, I was like, she said, you know what? She lives in Baltimore. I said, we got a show in Baltimore. I said, we already had a show there. I said, actually, we're coming back to Baltimore in 2017 on June 7th and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there, cussing me out, and, you know, I'm going to be there and stuff. So I said, all right, I invited her to come see me face to face and stuff. And when the time came, she never showed up and stuff. So after that, I was like, whatever you talking about is not real, because you said that I was your family and that's all you wanted to see was your family and whatnot and stuff. The woman is delusional as fuck and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So right now, Cam B, she didn't turn on Cam B in them right now. I don't know if y'all have found, you know, have been following that and stuff. She didn't flip the script, calling him the police and saying he was an agent and stuff. She's definitely delusional and stuff, you know. But she already was delusional and stuff. But the point about her being delusional is that everything that she's saying and everything that they're following, and most of the people on the internet are following it, that's saying anything about Jurassic Park, it all came from her, because they believe that she was Tupac's cousin. And I'm like, you're sweating me about taking DNA and all this and stuff. I said, what makes you think that this woman is Tupac's cousin? What proof that do you have that this woman is Tupac's cousin? Nobody never could answer the question and stuff. Nobody never. I'm like, why all of a sudden everybody believes this woman and stuff? You know what I'm saying? Now Cam B is like, oh, she's losing her mind and she's crazy and stuff. So if she's losing her mind, then what does that make you and stuff? You know what I'm saying? What if you, everything that you got that you're saying it came from her and stuff. Now Cam B says DJ Newmark is MCA of the Beastie Boys and stuff. Yeah. Right. When clearly in his first video, he said, oh, DJ Newmark is Johnny J and stuff. And where did he get that from? He got it from her, that woman that you're talking about and stuff. That's just, I don't know if she is. I'm not Tupac, so I was maintaining that you're not my family, no way. I don't give a fuck if you're a Tupac cousin. It don't even matter. And stuff. You're not my family and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the woman was, you know, very delusional and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Michelle Pennell, they call her Universal on YouTube and stuff. But yeah, she's crazy. The woman is definitely weirdo crazy. Why do you have people following me and coming to my job and stuff, and I know you're doing this? And I'm like, woman, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't even know you and stuff. And when I tried to meet you, you never showed up and stuff. So therefore, ain't no me trying to meet up with you again and all this and stuff. And so their whole thing was like, well, why won't you meet up with your cousin? Why are you dissing your cousin? And I'm like, that's not my family, and I have no obligation to see this woman and stuff, you know. And now they're like, oh, she's crazy now and stuff. So, but all your information came from her. All the information that's on the internet, the majority of stuff that those people follow and stuff, you know what I'm saying, all came from them believing that this woman was Tupac's cousin, and she was the one that put that theory out. She had her video up and stuff, and she's talking all her little points coming in and stuff, you know. So, yeah.
I saw that that message where Cam B messaged her, and he goes, "Don't worry, we're not gonna let you down. We're gonna do it for you," or
Right.
something like that.
That part.
But now
that part right there. You're the pioneer that sparked it. So if you're a pioneer, what does that mean to be a pioneer and stuff? You know what I'm saying? That means you were first on the land. You were the first one there. So if you're the first one there, and now you're saying the first one there is crazy, where did this theory come from? That's what I ask now. Like where did it come from? You would have to know where it came from and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Where did it start at and stuff? You know, why would you be following something if you don't know? So all you're doing is just regurgitating what somebody else have already put on the internet and stuff. You know, talking about this tour bus thing. Todd, you was talking about that. Yeah, I seen the tour bus thing. And then Danny was like, so this tour bus is what made you that's what made you turn? No. The tour bus thing, and it is so crazy that anybody that knows about touring and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You don't own the tour bus. So supposedly at one point they see me, and here's what that's about and stuff with the tour bus thing is that nobody in my group wanted to do this interview, so I was left to do it. Right? So my tour manager was like, Akil, I'm like, forget it, I do it and stuff, whatever and stuff, so I did the interview or whatnot and stuff. I didn't know it was going to turn into, this is the catalyst for people saying, did you see the code for the internet? Why is the code these numbers? And I'm like, y'all some fucking weirdo shit. We don't fucking make the code for the internet on somebody. This is not our tour bus. It's our bus for the time that we're on tour. We didn't make the code. When we get on the bus, we ask the bus driver, what's the code for the Wi-Fi? We didn't put that motherfucking number on there. What are you talking about? Like, it was just dumb shit. Just
oh my god,
stupid dumb shit.
I'm glad you spoke on that a little bit.
Yeah, that was dumb. That's just so dumb as well. Another thing, on Fearless, how is it that a group from California have the majority of fans over in Europe? What artist picks their fans? Just name any artist that picked their fans, who their fan base was and stuff. Nobody picks their fan base. You put out your music, and whoever gravitates to it, that's who comes and stuff. How can you be from California and you the majority of your fans are in Europe? That just makes no sense. That fucking shit made no sense what you said and stuff, like how you said about the Beatles and stuff. You know what I'm saying? The Beatles were from England.
Invasion.
Exactly, but they were bigger in the United States and stuff. That's documented. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. That just make, even if you're in the States, maybe your stuff. You from California, people might be really liking you in Florida or wherever, Mississippi or whatnot. You might be your biggest audience in Washington D.C. or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't pick your audience. Like, that's just dumb to think that somebody's going to be able to pick their fan base. It didn't make no fucking sense and stuff. Like for somebody that's been doing research for 7 months, deaf research. I'm a deaf faker research.
Oh yeah, deaf faker.
You fucking idiot. You just fucking idiot. It was fucking morons. It was fucking morons with that shit. I'm like, what the hell? You a deaf faker researcher? Like, what the hell? Man, go take care of your kids, man. Exactly. Damn, man. Go do something with your life, man. Wow. Like, a deaf faker? Like, for real?
That's exactly what I said. I told Todd, how do they have times? Because some of them said that they have kids. I'm like, how do they have time to take care of their kids? And one of them actually said that he had a cop uncle, and as soon as he started talking about you being Tupac, that his uncle just all of a sudden stopped talking to him. And I even told him, so it's not because he thinks that you're crazy and that you're wasting your life. And he even said, yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's so many points in there. I didn't point at all the dumb shit up. I didn't point at every last dumb shit that they said in that interview and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Why would I know why your uncle think you crazy? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, why? Yesterday, he puts up a video, and He's damn near crying because this woman, because she turned on him. I looked at you like you was a mother. I can't even talk to you. I can't even talk to my own mother like I talk to you. I looked at you like a mother figure and stuff. So I know why you can't talk to your mother about that shit and stuff. Because, nigga, this is crazy. I bet your girlfriend don't listen to that shit. I bet nobody, none of your friends, nobody don't listen to this shit and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just you, and you can tell it's just them and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's just them, and they got all these people on the internet. So now they think that, you know, they're doing something and stuff with your little 1,000 people on your 1,000 people subscribers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that don't necessarily mean that everybody is following you anyway. And 1,000 people versus billions of people in the world and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Your shit ain't even fucking touching nothing and stuff, but you got these dumbass people that's following them and stuff, that's gullible, and all of them say the same thing and stuff. Oh, well, you know, Tupac, you know, and he you know, he done this for, you know, to corrupt the people and stuff, and, you know, and why, and blaming me. Oh, well, why did you get my cousin, my brothers are in jail and stuff? I said, you need to be writing your brothers as opposed to fucking talking to me right now and stuff. That's what you need to be doing. Go save your brothers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Go write them, and, you know, don't. Why are you over here blaming me? Who was in jail that said? Who was in jail saying I'm in jail because I tried to follow Tupac and stuff, man? Come on, man, that shit don't even make no goddamn sense and stuff, you know. And so it's weird ass people, and that's what really more so trips me out than them. It be the people that actually be in the comments that I'm like, wow, man, y'all are some weirdos, man. And so, you know, like, but it makes sense because they some weirdos and stuff. So, you know, you just got weirdos following weirdos and shit. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And they're young minded. You can tell it's just young shit. And, you know, how old were you when Tupac is around and stuff? So, you know, you're looking at it like a little kid. Of course, everybody looks big and everybody looks, you know. Another thing he said, you know, because we only seen Tupac on TV, you know, and we didn't see him in public and stuff. You're a fucking kid. Of course you didn't see him in public and stuff. How the fuck you gonna see him in public and stuff? You know what I'm saying? You was a kid and stuff. So where would you see him at and stuff? You know what I'm saying? If you were a kid then and stuff. Come on, man. None of that shit makes sense, man.
He actually, they also said that, well, you know, we've never heard of Jurassic 5 until now. How come? Why not?
Right. Because how is it that you from Los Angeles, but you're from Long Beach, and even my Long Beach folks and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Come on, that didn't make you not making sense and stuff that you just now. I'm just so just because you just now discovering Jurassic 5 that everybody else is supposed to be like yeah, we never even heard of them and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But then you had them in your video game in 2003 though. But you never heard of Jurassic 5 and stuff, right? But then you was talking about they were in this video game and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you had the game and you remember the song, but you never heard of Jurassic 5 though and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Fucking Contradiction. He's a contradiction. You know what I'm saying? Contradiction.
There you go, contradiction.
That's what contradiction.
Yeah, that makes no sense. I mean, everything they said was just contradicting, made no sense, and retarded as hell, man. And I told him, look, dude, I don't want to waste my time doing this interview if all you're gonna say is the same things, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's not proof. You know, internet pictures, Photoshop stuff, and, you know, Disneyland theories are not proof. I want solid proof. And he said, yeah, I will. Don't trip. When the interview comes, I will. And he didn't have nothing.
Nah. And then he tried to say, well, what's our proof? And then he came in, well, you like the teeth, right? And stuff. And then, you know, Todd, you killed them off with that one and stuff. Well, that's the easiest thing to change is the teeth and stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. Why would I go through all these gastro surgeries and, you know, all this plastic surgery and stuff and don't change the teeth? Why? And you know, Fearless like, oh well, you know, they're you know, a death faker, you know, will do anything to change their identity and stuff. And you know, then you show me Charlie Tuna looking exactly like
Gaddafi.
What's his name? Yeah, looking exactly like Yahya. I said, well, what happened at that point? How is it that this one? Yeah, everybody else has changed. But then, you know, like here it is, this person, what did he change and stuff? You know what I'm saying? If you're saying that death fakers do anything to change their identity and stuff, because they will just defeat the purpose to look like them, you know, so they're not going to look exactly like them. Like, you contradicting yourself, because now this guy never changed and stuff, you know. So what is it? You know, it's just so many holes in their shit. Just all kind of holes in their shit and stuff. Like, man, y'all delusional. They're fucking delusional and stuff, man.
But we're so glad, you know, Akil, that you came on, brother, because you know, this is gonna, you know, open, you know, the minds of a lot of people that are, you know, blinded by these two dumbasses. You know, they're just believing these two kids that they're not real researching. You know, being on the computer for 2 or 3 hours a day instead of taking care of your kids, that's not somebody that you should be following. You know what I'm saying? Right.
That tripped me out when he said, "Oh, we're just dads with," and I'm like, "You're actually a dad? You're fucking neglecting your child, man. When do you have time to chill with your child and stuff? If you on the internet arguing with people, or you ain't putting out these dumbass theories and stuff, and you know, and every day somebody different and stuff. Oh, this person is this person." I said, "When do you have time to take care of your family? What you do? You got a girlfriend? Like, I know your girl is mad. You know, like, she don't believe that shit. I already know she don't believe that shit and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Nobody in this family believe that shit and stuff. You know, like, take care of your family, man. Like, you know, get your mental straight and stuff. I believe you're a hurt child, because you say, "Oh, I used to worship him. I used to worship him." You know what I'm saying? I don't fucking worship no man. Nope. You know what I'm saying? I believe in God. You know what I'm saying? My creator, you know what I'm saying? That's who I worship. I don't worship no man and stuff. Who goes around saying dumb shit like that? Nobody in the hood does that. Nope. Nobody in the hood worships, say they, "Oh, I worship this nigga." You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's dumb. Yeah. That's just dumb to say you worship Tupac and stuff like that. I was brainwashed by him. Like, you was brainwashed? Like, what the fuck you mean you was brainwashed? If you was brainwashed, then why wouldn't you be brainwashed to follow the thug code and stuff? Why would you? I wanted to do drugs. Like, I wanted the drugs. What drugs did Tupac do, bro? What drugs did Tupac do? What are you talking about and stuff? Smoke weed? Like, you know what I'm saying? Chase, you know, you women and stuff. Those what? I didn't get that part and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't never know Tupac to be doing any drugs. What drugs was Tupac promoting, bro? Like, shit make no sense and stuff. If you're actually brainwashed by Tupac and stuff, then why aren't you brainwashed on the thug life stuff, on the thug code and stuff? Why aren't you brainwashed on the Black Panther stuff? Why aren't you thug or brainwashed on, you know, just wanting to help the community out and stuff? You know what I'm saying? You know, the stuff that he was talking about when he did the interview with Monster Cody and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, why wasn't you? You know? Yeah, take care of your kids. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a great point. You know, he said it himself, and he tried to get me in there too. He goes, "Weren't you, you know, didn't you worship him down there?" I go, "Hell nah, I didn't worship him."
Yeah, exactly. And that shit was funny as hell. He's like, hold up, no, I don't worship. Oh, you don't? Oh, okay, well, I'm speaking for myself. Like, you goddamn right. Ain't nobody fucking worshiping nobody, bro. Like, hold up, I just said that. Like, I didn't. I don't worship nobody. Yeah, like, man, come on, man. What? That's how I know it's some little kid. You're in your mind. You're in your mind and trying to rationalize this from a little kid's perspective and stuff, and how he's seen it as a kid. And most of those people, what I realized, majority of these people that's pushing this and stuff, they was young, man. They wasn't even cognizant to even understand. They just know, you know, it's like when Jesus died and stuff, Jesus became more popular after he died and stuff. And same way with this Tupac and shit and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, anybody that know, you know, when Tupac was living and stuff, he wasn't that popular. He was a popular person, but he wasn't popular as he is right now.
That's true.
And so, you know, majority of people that follow him, they think that the whole world was following him like that. That's not so. The man died, exactly, you know, in a tragic way and stuff. So that made people like, oh, and then it's mysterious. It became mysterious and stuff because nobody is saying nothing in who killed Tupac and stuff, and that's some little kid shit and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Or if you're following you're looking at it from a kid perspective and stuff,
Exactly.
you know, and most of them kids and stuff, you know. I have my oldest son is 28 and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then, so I talk to them about this and stuff, you know, and how they was viewing things and stuff, you know, at that age and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I know I'm a parent. I know what it was like and stuff, you know what I'm saying, to have children at that age and stuff, and how somebody can be looking at something, or even me myself being young and thinking something was a particular way because you were little and stuff, you know, like that's not reality and stuff, you know. That's fantasy, and you can tell they're living off fantasy. They're making up these things, and they put them in our video games, and you know, like, and like come on, man.
Exactly.
Like, who does that? Dude?
You know, when artists die, you know, they become a lot famous. Like a great point is Jim Morrison from The Doors. You know, I've read a lot of magazines and seen a lot of stuff. When he was alive, he was actually even banned. The Doors were banned from Woodstock, and people would call Jim Morrison a drunken buffoon, you know, posing as a poet. And when he died, those same people were like, he was such a genius. He was a you know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and this and that. So yeah, definitely when people die, they make them. And Tupac, I remember when Tupac was rapping too. You know, I like Tupac, but I digged, you know, Snoop more. And when he passed, he just became a lot bigger, you know, than when he was. Yeah, but and that's just natural. That's just natural. That's going to happen and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it just was a tragic event and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like when how it happened, and you know, people, you know, they just run with all these stories about what happened, and you know, it's more, they like the more mysterious part of it than the actual facts of the situation and stuff, you know. And you know, and the fact of the situation is that he fucked with some people and they fucking got him back, and that's that on that. It ain't no fucking conspiracy and they're killing off characters and all. It's just dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, what, these fucking dummies. Like, man, come on, man. Who does shit like that? So everybody dies now. So now, Fat Joe is Heavy D and shit now. I saw that. Yeah.
I'm like, these guys are idiots. Like, you're just picking anybody. You know?
People don't realize hip hop itself. And especially, I don't want to say gangster rap, but gangster rap was, you know, it was in its infancy in the late 90s. You know?
Yeah.
It wasn't mainstream like it is now where you've got it all over the place. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people did like it. But the reality is early 90s, probably infancy, late 90s into early 2000s, we're talking hip-hop was starting to blow up. And becoming kind of a teenager, you know, it wasn't monstrous in 1992, 93.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it is now.
Right. No, definitely not and stuff. You know, it definitely went somewhere else with it and stuff. Cause you know, I just put up two posts and stuff. I put up all in the same gang and self-destruction and stuff, and to show. Because, you know, the narrative that they're pushing is like, you know, every rapper is working for the government to push something. And I'm like, I know that you're young because you don't even know that we had self-destruction. We had all in the same gang and stuff, and we were addressing the issues, you know, that were plaguing us in our communities and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Black on black crime and stuff. All of the things that you know, they saying that rappers took responsibility. Young rappers took responsibility to speak on these things and stuff. The Tupacs and you know, all of these people took responsibility to handle this and stuff. After '92 is when shit changed and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you know, it became definitely corporate and stuff. But prior to that, I've been listening to hip hop since '79, you know what I'm saying? I've been listening to, you know what I'm saying? I never want I did hip hop in South Central LA, and that kept me from gang banging.
Yep.
That kept me from slanging dope and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I have the opposite story of what the fuck they're saying that this does. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, this is what saved my life.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? That shit was all around me, and it wasn't like everybody wanted to gang bang. That was not the thing. That was some taboo shit. Like, yo, man, that's the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially around 89, 88. We listen to Public Enemy. We listen to KRS-One and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We trying to better ourselves. We looking up some pro-black stuff. You know, trying to have knowledge of self. Type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't into killing each other and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like into shooting up. Like, this is we attacking these issues that exist all over America in the ghettos of America and stuff. So
Amen.
that's the hip hop that I come from and stuff, and that's the hip hop that I still push to this day and stuff. So there's what's Tupac's message? What's Akil's message and stuff? What's this? If Tupac's message was that, then what is Akil's message today and stuff? You know what I'm saying? It's the same.
Growing up in that time.
Amen, brother.
Say that again.
Growing up in that time, the government hated hip hop.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. So how can you be this being used to I'm not saying I'm not negating the fact that that a lot of music today is distraction and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But to say that people are deliberately making this music and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, man, I've been in the studio plenty of times and stuff. Nobody's deliberately making music like that. They're trying to make a hit. You know what I'm saying? They live in poverty-stricken conditions. They're trying to get money and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So they're going to do anything to get money and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't necessary, I'm going to make this to make people, because you don't even know what's going to be a hit.
Exactly.
Nobody knows. So any artist that's making music, they don't know what song is going to be a hit and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So that's dumb to think that, we're making this music to make people do a particular thing and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty dumb to think if you understand music and stuff, you don't know how people are going to like, whatever type of music it may be and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Some songs just pop and then some songs don't. And some songs be a great song, but it just don't hit with the masses and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Then some stuff actually do or whatnot and stuff, So, it's we live in a world right now and stuff where, the lack of responsibility, to take care of things. Because, like, you don't see today that there is no self-destruction songs and stuff. There is no, all in the same gang and stuff, A lot of that got taken away from us. If I can speak from a black perspective and stuff, in the black neighborhood, crack cocaine messed us up.
Yeah.
And one of the things that messed up, it was the respect from old to the young and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because you have young kids that was selling dope to older people and stuff. You got a 13-year-old selling dope to a 31-year-old man and stuff. All respect from the young to the old was lost within that transaction and stuff. You got a 13-year-old boy getting his dick sucked from a 31-year-old woman and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that you respected, that we respected our elders and stuff, And so, it came a time where, these people did things that was, not fitting in our eyes and stuff. But I'm from a generation where we still respected those people and stuff. But, people that was selling drugs and doing things and stuff, they end up having to discipline these people. So when they're disciplining these people that they respected and stuff, in the eyes of the younger people that's coming up under us and stuff, that don't really know that person's stature and stuff, you know what I'm saying? All they do is that they don't look at as uncle, like, this my uncle, this my auntie, this is my big sister, my big brother. No, that's a smoker. That's him. They said, so now we're dealing with 35 years later and stuff right now and stuff, you know what I'm saying? All the young kids have no respect for older people and stuff, This is the world we live in and stuff, It's just, me society. There's no unity in the world, period, and stuff, So I'm not negating that doesn't exist in the world right now and stuff, but to deliberately say rappers are being used to do this and stuff, man, this shit existed before fucking rap and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
And
so
that was the point that I want to make right now, Akil, and I'm pretty sure that, you growing up, in the early 80s and all that stuff, I'm pretty sure, you can relate to this. Most of the gang members that I knew, You know, because I grew up, you know, in a gang neighborhood too. It was a Mexican gang neighborhood, but you know, same
Okay.
thing. You know, gang
Same shit.
neighborhood.
Same shit.
Yeah.
Same shit. Yeah.
Most of the gang members that I knew didn't listen to rap. They listened to oldies. So
Exactly.
are you gonna really tell
Exactly.
me that oldies brainwashed them? They were talking about nothing but positive, treating women good. Most of the gang members listen to oldies.
Exactly. That was gangster music. That was exactly oldies is gangster. That's what I know to be gangster music. You know what I'm saying? That you know, like not no that gang bang rap. That's why I never done that shit because I was rapping before fucking gangster rap came out and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just so yeah, I know gang members that listen to oldies. That's what they was bumping. You know what I'm saying? Like. And to reiterate what you're saying, the reason why I ended up meeting Monster Cody later and stuff, he lived in my neighborhood, but I only knew him as basically like a myth. That dude was like, like a myth or whatnot and stuff. But when I finally did meet him and stuff, that was like 2002 or 2003, just before I moved to Atlanta or whatnot and stuff. And he told me, he's like, I love y'all and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all just remind me of the music before I went to jail. The hip hop that was happening before they went to jail and stuff. He's like, I can't relate to this gang shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
There you go.
Gangster rap, so-called gangster rap. That's like that's new. That shit was new and stuff, and it went from like basically like what. Not even NWA, because NWA didn't even do gang bang rap. Instead, they wore black and shit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't wear red or blue, because strategically at that time they would have fucking got killed and stuff. You know what I'm saying? At that time, that was before there was a truce in '92 and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that was dangerous for them but they had to be strategic in what they were doing and stuff, because like, there was no fucking so-called gangster rap, and the media labeled it gangster rap, because on the street level and stuff, you know what I'm saying, you got different gangs and stuff. So you got gangsters and you got hoodsters and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like Nipsey Hussle would be from a neighborhood Crip, and their enemies is gangster Crips, like A-Trade gangsters. So anybody that got the moniker gangster on your gang and stuff, you know what I'm saying, then that's you to say you do gangster rap would be in my eyes would be, you do A-Trade gangster rap, you do Playboy gangster rap, gang, it would be connected to a gang to say I do gangster rap. No, when NWA said they do street knowledge, that it was about, that's what the thing was. They didn't say gangster. It became gangster, you know what I'm saying? And when that's the song Gangster, that was even like politically, a thing in the hood and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think Ice Cube kind of even got sweated for that and stuff, because that when that song came on, that was that gang's song and stuff. The Run DMC got a song called 30 Days. It got a gang called Rolling 30s. That's their song and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got certain things that gangs in LA, they took these monikers that these rappers were saying and stuff and made it their thing and stuff. So the whole gangster thing and stuff, you know what I'm saying, is technically, if you don't know the codes and stuff, you know what I'm saying, Dub C say he hoodster rap because he's from a hoodster set and stuff, I don't know if I'm talking over people's head, but, it's just real technical like that and stuff, So, but gangster rap is new. It wasn't, no fuck, it ain't what, that didn't exist, right? Like what you said, Danny, and stuff. We listen to oldies. That's what they listen to and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Especially Mexican gangbangers. They're definitely Mexican gangbangers and stuff, I'm your puppet, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. It's just clear. It's anybody that knows, that has the history of, the streets and stuff, you know what I'm saying, understands what happened and stuff. And when you hear these little kids talk like this, it's like, you don't know a fucking thing and stuff. And you just talking and stuff. You don't know. So
shit, my uncle was one of the gangsters dudes I've ever met, and the only music he listens to, he used to listen to, rest in peace, was it was Mexican music. It was Vicente Fernandez, and all he talks about is women and drinking. So now, are you saying that Vicente Fernandez is corrupting gangsters too, or I mean,
right.
You know, it's retarded.
You know, right. Because you got to take it back to the beginning of some gang stuff. So if this is the thing that they're pushing and stuff, then come on, man, that's just all some new shit. All that shit is new shit and stuff, man. Nobody wasn't operating like that. All the real gang members and stuff, you know what I'm saying? The real gang members and stuff, they love Jurassic 5 and stuff, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't doing gangster stuff, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't trying to do that dumb shit and stuff. All that shit was just dumb, but it was a way to get rich. And the dope game was ending at that time, so this was the new dope game, rap.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So anybody that knows timeline and stuff that would know the streets and stuff and know in 89 is when the shit stopped all over America and stuff, you know what I'm saying? All the big drug dealers got